The jungle breathes at night, but it does not sleep. Somewhere in the blackness between the trees, something moves without sound, without breath, without mercy. You cannot see it. You cannot hear it, but it sees you. The air is thick with moisture and fear, pressing against your chest like a weight you cannot lift. Leaves shift, branches crack. A low growl rumbles through the dark, so deep it feels like it comes from the earth itself. You freeze. Your heartbeat is a drum. And in the shadows, two golden eyes open, watching, waiting, remembering blood. Night falls in the Amazon like a curtain dropping on the world. One moment, the canopy glows with amber light. The next, everything drowns in shadow. This is not the peaceful darkness of sleep. This is the darkness that swallows, the darkness that hunts. Deep within the tangled web of vines and moss-covered trees, the jungle transforms into a labyrinth of whispers and hidden eyes. The howler monkeys have gone silent. The parrots no longer call. Even the insects seem to hold their breath. Something has entered the hunting ground. It moves through the undergrowth like smoke, each paw placed with surgical precision. No leaves rustle. No twigs snap. The jaguar does not announce itself. It does not need to. Its body is a weapon forged over millions of years, muscle wrapped in spotted fur, jaws strong enough to crush bone, claws sharp enough to tear through, flesh like wet paper. But it is not the strength that makes it deadly. It is the patience, the silence, the shadow. The jaguar has been hunting this territory for years. It knows every tree, every stream, every hollow where prey might hide. It remembers the paths the capybaras take to the water. It remembers where the peccaries sleep. And it remembers blood. The taste of it, the scent of it, the way it pools in the dirt after the kill. Tonight, the jaguar is hungry. Tonight, something will die. It pauses at the edge of a clearing, golden eye scanning the darkness. The moonlight barely penetrates the canopy above, casting everything in shades of black and gray. But the jaguar does not need light. Its eyes are built for this, pupils wide, drinking in every photon, turning night into a ghostly landscape of shapes and movement. And there, at the far edge of the clearing, something moves. A tapir, young, alone, separated from the safety of its mother. The jaguar's muscles coil, its heart slows, and it begins to stalk. The tapir does not know it is being watched. It shuffles through the undergrowth, snout pressed to the ground, searching for fallen fruit. Its ears twitch at every sound, the distant hoot of an owl, the rustle of a snake sliding through dead leaves, the whisper of wind through the canopy. But it does not hear the jaguar. No one does. The jaguar is a ghost, a living shadow. It moves when the tapir's head is down. It freezes when the tapir lifts its ears. Every step is calculated. Every breath controlled. 20 meters. 15. 10. The distance closes like a noose tightening. The tapir pauses, lifting its head. Something feels wrong. The air has changed. The jungle has gone too quiet. Its nostrils flare, searching for a scent that does not belong. But the jaguar is downwind, invisible. The tapir takes another step forward, still uncertain, still searching for the danger it cannot name. And that is when it sees them, two golden orbs floating in the blackness. For a moment, neither moves. Predator and prey locked in a frozen tableau. The tapir's heart hammers in its chest. Adrenaline floods its veins. Every instinct screams the same word: run. But fear has roots. It holds the tapir in place for 1 second too long. And that is all the jaguar needs. It explodes from the shadows. The forest erupts. The tapir bolts, crashing through vines and ferns in a blind panic. The jaguar flows after it like liquid death, paws barely touching the ground. The chase is chaos, branches snapping, leaves flying, breath tearing from lungs. But the jaguar is faster, stronger, built for this moment. It closes the gap in seconds, muscles rippling beneath its fur, eyes locked on the fleeing shape ahead. The tapir veers left, trying to disappear into thicker undergrowth. The jaguar anticipates, cuts the angle, gains ground. 5 meters. 3, 1, and then it leaps. The jaguar lands on the tapir's back with the force of a falling boulder. Claws sink deep into flesh. The tapir screams, a sound so raw, so filled with terror, it seems to tear the night apart. But the jaguar does not hesitate. It does not pause. Its jaws open wide and clamp down on the back of the tapir's skull. This is the jaguar signature. Other big cats go for the throat. The jaguar goes for the brain. The bite force is unimaginable. Over 1,500 pounds of pressure concentrated into fangs that pierce bone like nails through wood. The tapir's skull cracks. The scream cuts off. Its legs buckle. And in seconds, the struggle is over. The jungle falls silent again. The jaguar releases its grip, standing over the body, breathing hard. Steam rises from its open mouth. Blood drips from its jaws. The tapir twitches once, twice, then goes still. The kill is complete. But the jaguar does not celebrate. It does not roar or announce its victory. It simply stands there, watching, waiting, making sure the prey is truly dead. Because in the jungle, carelessness kills. A wounded animal can still fight. A cornered animal can still escape. But this tapir will never run again. Its eyes stare blankly at the canopy above, reflecting the faint glow of the moon. The jaguar lowers its head and begins to feed. The sound is grotesque, tearing flesh, crunching bone, wet, rhythmic gulping. The jaguar's teeth slice through muscle and sinew, pulling chunks of meat free. Blood soaks into the dirt, turning the ground dark and sticky. The scent of death hangs heavy in the air, thick and metallic. Somewhere in the distance, a vulture calls, waiting, knowing. But the jaguar is in no hurry. It eats slowly, methodically, consuming the heart first, then the liver, then the rich muscle along the haunches. This is not just survival. This is ritual. The jaguar is not merely eating. It is reclaiming the jungle, asserting its dominance, reminding every creature within earshot, I am the apex. I am the end. And no one here is safe. Hours later, the jaguar moves again. Its belly is full. Its thirst is not. It pads through the darkness toward the sound of running water, leaving the carcass behind for the scavengers. The jungle has already begun to reclaim the kill. Flies swarm. Ants march. A caiman watches from the riverbank, yellow eyes glinting with interest. But the jaguar does not care. It has taken what it needed. The rest belongs to the forest. The river is a silver ribbon cutting through the blackness. Moonlight dances on the surface, broken into 1,000 glittering shards. The jaguar approaches cautiously, ears pricked, nose testing the air. Rivers are dangerous. They are borders. Territories overlap here. Caimans lurk beneath the surface. Anacondas coil in the shallows. Even the river itself can kill. Currents strong enough to drag a full-grown jaguar under and pin it against submerged logs until it drowns. But the jaguar is not afraid. It steps into the water, feeling the cool current wrap around its legs. Jaguars are one of the few big cats that love water. They swim like otters, hunt like crocodiles, and fear nothing that lives in the depths. The jaguar lowers its head and drinks, tongue lapping at the surface. The water is cold and clean, washing the taste of blood from its mouth. And then it stops. Something is watching. The jaguar lifts its head slowly, water dripping from its whiskers. Across the river, half submerged in the reeds, a pair of eyes glow red in the moonlight. A caiman, big, maybe 12 feet long. Its armored body lies motionless, only the top of its skull visible above the waterline. For a moment, the two predators stare at each other. Equals, killers, each capable of ending the other's life. But tonight, neither is interested in a fight. The jaguar finishes drinking and turns away, slipping back into the forest without a sound. The caiman sinks beneath the surface, and the river flows on, indifferent to the violence that lives on its shores. The jaguar does not sleep, not yet. It moves through the jungle with purpose, following invisible trails only it can sense. Scent markers left on trees, scratches carved into bark, the ghost paths of its territory, etched into the landscape over years of patrolling. This is its kingdom, every inch of it earned through blood and dominance. But a kingdom must be defended. Always. The jungle is never empty. Other predators walk these same trails. Pumas slink through the canopy. Ocelots prowl the undergrowth. Harpy eagles circle overhead, scanning for monkeys and sloths. But the jaguar fears none of them. It is the apex, the nightmare that even nightmares fear. Its presence is a warning, a promise. Cross me, and you will bleed. The jaguar pauses at the base of a massive ceiba tree, its roots twisting like serpents through the soil. It lifts its head and sniffs the trunk. Another scent, faint but unmistakable. Another jaguar. Male, young, trespassing. The fur along the jaguar's spine rises. A low growl rumbles in its chest, so deep it vibrates through the ground. This cannot stand. Intruders must be driven out. Dominance must be reasserted. The jaguar rears up on its hind legs and drags its claws down the trunk, leaving deep gouges in the wood. Then it turns and sprays the base of the tree, marking it with musk. The message is clear. I am here. I am strong. This is mine. The scent will linger for days, a warning to any who dare challenge its claim. But the jaguar is not satisfied. It needs to find the intruder. It needs to see the fear in its eyes. It needs to remind the jungle why shadows remember blood. It moves faster now, nose to the ground, following the scent trail. The young male is close, maybe less than a kilometer away, maybe closer. The jaguar's heart beats faster, not from fear, from anticipation, the thrill of the hunt, the promise of violence. And then, through the trees ahead, it sees him. A male jaguar, smaller, leaner, standing over a freshly killed peccary, stealing from its territory. The two jaguars lock eyes. The younger male freezes, peccary blood dripping from its jaws. It knows it has made a mistake. It knows what comes next, but pride keeps it rooted in place. It does not run. It does not submit. It stands its ground, lips curling back to reveal blood-stained teeth. The older jaguar, the alpha, the king of this territory, steps forward slowly, each paw placed with deliberate menace. The message is silent but unmistakable. Leave now or die here. The young male growls. A warning. A challenge. The older jaguar does not flinch. It has fought this fight before. It has the scars to prove it. Deep claw marks across its shoulder. A notch missing from one ear. A faint limp in its right hind leg from a battle years ago. But it is still here, still alive, still alpha, and it will not yield. The tension shatters like glass. Both jaguars explode into motion. They collide in a blur of fur and fangs, rolling through the undergrowth in a savage tangle. Claws rake, jaws snap, blood sprays across leaves. The sound is horrific, snarls and roars that echo through the jungle, silencing every other creature. Birds flee, monkeys scream. Even the insects seem to hold their breath. The young male is fast, agile, desperate. He slashes at the older jaguar's face, narrowly missing an eye. But the alpha is experienced, brutal. It twists beneath the younger male's guard and sinks its teeth into his shoulder, biting down until bone grinds. The young male screams, tries to pull free, but the alpha holds on, shaking its head violently, tearing muscle and sinew. The young male finally breaks away, stumbling backward, blood pouring from the wound. His eyes are wide now, no longer defiant, just afraid. The alpha steps forward, breathing hard, blood dripping from its jaws. It could finish this, could kill him, but it does not need to. The lesson has been taught, the dominance reasserted. The young male turns and runs, crashing through the forest, leaving a trail of blood behind. The alpha does not chase. It watches until the sounds fade, then lifts its head and roars. The sound rolls through the jungle like thunder, a declaration, a reminder. This is mine. Dawn is still hours away, but the jaguar is tired. The fight has drained it. Blood seeps from scratches along its ribs. Its shoulder aches, but it cannot rest yet. Not here. Not in the open. It limps back toward the heart of its territory, moving slower now, the adrenaline fading, pain settling into its bones. The jungle feels different now, quieter, emptier, as if the violence has left a wound in the air itself. The jaguar finds a hollow beneath a fallen log, half hidden by ferns and creeping vines. It squeezes inside, the space barely large enough for its body. Here, it is invisible, protected. It curls into a tight ball, nose tucked under its tail, and finally allows its eyes to close. But even in sleep, it listens. Even in sleep, it is ready. Because in the jungle, safety is an illusion. Death is always one breath away. Hours pass. The jungle begins to wake. Birds sing. Monkeys chatter. Sunlight filters through the canopy in golden beams, warming the damp earth. Slowly, the jaguar opens its eyes. The pain is still there, but duller now. Manageable. It stretches, testing its limbs, feeling the stiffness in its muscles. Then it crawls out of the hollow and stands in the morning light, blinking against the brightness. The tapir's carcass is gone, picked clean by scavengers during the night. Only bones remain, scattered in the dirt like broken puzzle pieces. The jaguar approaches us, sniffing the remains, but there is nothing left worth eating. It turns away without interest. The hunt will begin again tonight. It always does. The jaguar pads through the forest, moving toward the river. The air is warm now, humid, thick with the scent of wet earth and blooming flowers. It passes a troop of capuchin monkeys feeding in the canopy. They freeze when they see it, eyes wide, bodies tense. But the jaguar ignores them. It is not hunting. Not yet. For now, it is simply existing, moving through its kingdom. A shadow that remembers blood. Night falls again. The jungle exhales, releasing the heat of the day, and the darkness returns like an old friend. The jaguar wakes from its rest beneath a tangled root system, eyes gleaming in the shadows. The hunger has returned, sharper now, more insistent. The cycle continues. It always does. Hunt, kill, feed, sleep, repeat. This is not cruelty. This is not evil. This is balance. The jaguar does not kill for sport. It kills to survive. And in doing so, it keeps the jungle alive. Without predators, prey would multiply unchecked. They would strip the forest bare, devouring every plant, every seed, every blade of grass. The land would turn to dust. The rivers would dry. The jungle would die. But the jaguar prevents this. It culls the weak, the sick, the slow. It ensures that only the strongest survive to breed. And in this way, the jungle endures. The jaguar moves through the darkness once more, following familiar trails, testing the air, listening for the sounds that mean prey. Somewhere ahead, a peccary grunts. Somewhere behind, a tapir snuffles through the undergrowth. The jaguar's ears swivel, tracking the sounds, calculating distances, choosing targets. And then it sees them. A small herd of capybaras at the river's edge, drinking in the moonlight. Unaware, vulnerable, the jaguar lowers its body into a crouch. Its muscles coil. Its eyes lock onto the smallest capybara, young, distracted, separated from the others by just a few feet. The jaguar's tail twitches. Twice. And then it moves. Silent as a whisper, fast as a heartbeat. The jaguar flows through the darkness, closing the distance in seconds. The capybaras scatter, splashing into the river, squealing in panic. But the jaguar has already chosen. Its jaws close around the young capybara's neck. The kill is instant, efficient, merciful. The body goes limp. The jaguar drags it onto the shore and begins to feed. And the jungle watches, always watching. Because this is the way it has always been. This is the way it will always be. The shadow moves. The shadow hunts. The shadow remembers blood. And as long as the jungle breathes, the The jaguar will be here, waiting in the darkness, golden eyes glowing, ready for the next hunt. Always. The night never ends. Not truly. Even when the sun rises, the shadows remain, hiding in hollow trees and beneath tangled roots, waiting for darkness to return. The jaguar is one of those shadows, a living ghost, a reminder that nature is beautiful, but it is also brutal, that survival is a dance between hunter and hunted, where every breath might be your last. If the silence hasn't broken you yet, if the fear still lingers in your chest, then you felt what it means to be prey. Share this darkness. Subscribe to walk deeper into the wild. The next hunt is waiting.